Hi, yes, my name's Sean Latham. I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Just a normal consumer, shopping eBay Motors, trying to buy a good vehicle, and just um, really compelled to put this video together to hopefully describe some of my buying experience. It's been very, very difficult and still, as of now, not resolved yet. About a month ago or so, I began a search for looking for a Hummer H2 for my business to be able to pull a trailer around. Shopped and shopped and shopped, looked locally, looked on eBay, and ended up really finding what I thought was a good deal at a place called Ultra Motor Cars. Ultra Motor Cars in Houston. It's a eBay wholesaler. He had 100% feedback. Looked by all accounts like a reputable company. I think had 75 positive feedbacks, all 100%. And so I kind of had this perception that this guy's on the up and up, or otherwise he wouldn't have 100% feedback. So anyway, that I'm really just gonna kind of try to string together quite a few videos to describe my experience, what I've been through. So hopefully you won't go through what I went through. It's been very difficult. A lot of things that you can learn about not only Ultra Motor Cars in Houston, a gentleman named Chris, but probably just many other online wholesalers that you might run across on eBay. Just kind of want to walk you through what I experienced and that 100% feedback, how that comes about, whether it's believable or not believable, what you can learn from, and really just some things hopefully you can guard yourself from. So anyway, this is going to be an ongoing process. It's going to be probably several clips to go through, and the reason being is because it's an unresolved process. It's still not done. And so anyway, hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me or write me. At the end of this, I'll leave my phone number and my email address so that you can call me directly. So I want to do everything I can to hopefully make sure that you don't go through the experience that I've had to go through. So wish you well. Thanks. Okay, so here we are. We're going to take a look at the vehicle description as advertised on eBay. And first of all, you can see who the seller info is. It's Ultra One Houston. And the name of the dealership, actually his legal name would be called Ultra Motor Cars, is how he advertised himself. It actually looks, by this picture, it looks like a nice facility. You really don't get an idea of what it really looks like until you get there and realize that it's really nothing more than really a two-bay cleanup shop. And then he has these two walls painted up and just for the photo op. And the dealership, which really isn't a dealership at all, it's really just a penned-in area, again, with that's part of a little strip mall, more of a warehouse section of the outskirts of Houston. And it's I guess a questionable area. It wasn't too bad, but it's not what you're really expecting when you get there. It's got a little office attached to the side of it. So what you see here in the picture isn't what you're going to find once you get there. You got to remember, this guy is not a dealership, he's a wholesaler. You can see that he has a feedback rating here. Now, it was 100%, it's now 95.7%, and that's because I just left feedback. I just left a negative feedback, so that took him from 100% down to 95.7. You can see Houston, Texas sold for $16,295. That was the buy it now price. I really want to just walk you through the vehicle description first of all, and then we're going to look at some other things. Hold on just a second here. Vehicle description. When we first look at the vehicle description, he did a great job. Once again, he did a great job putting a lot of nice pictures in here. Really, the more I know about the vehicle, the more it seems as though it really is he's more of a detail guy, or more of a reconditioner. He'll take vehicles that are ragged out, and he purchases them at a really good price, and then he goes and cleans them up and you know, does some tricks of the trade, so to speak, to make them look good, to really kind of cover up what really is, but can do so in such a way that, you know, we buy it and he makes money. So, and I think that's what any good car dealer does anyway. So, but you can see how he advertised, and this is kind of where some of the rub for me started, is how he advertised it. Up for sale is a clean, like new Hummer H2 4x4. And then he goes on to say it's absolutely spotless, great ride and drive. Again, he reiterates this H2 has a perfect ride and drive. Engine and transmission is smooth and shifts great. Well-maintained vehicle. So you kind of getting the idea that this is a well-maintained, that this thing is perfect, nice inside and out because of how well the owners have taken care of the vehicle. That's the perception you've got. He goes on to say it looks great inside out. The title is clear and clean. Everything about it, inside, outside, leather seats, power windows, Bose, everything works. You know, as far as maintenance, we did a computer diagnostic and everything checked out great, which was kind of funny because as soon as I picked it up, the computer light has come on, and that's a whole nother issue of some issues that is on the list that we'll describe later on. But anyway, he again reiterates this is a nice looking Hummer, rides and drives smooth. He goes on to say, you know, that it's in great condition. There is no scratches, dings, or nicks on this vehicle. Really clean inside and out. We'll do a walk around a little later on to kind of show you what he means by no nicks, scratches, or dings, because again, this vehicle is not as described. He goes on to talk about some tires from 315, 7017 BF Goodrich, good condition. And you know, it's my fault. You know, I did look at the pictures. I guess I didn't look at them close enough. I looked more at his description as he had written it down, and he written it down as, you know, we've got a complete set of BF Goodrich tires in good condition. But the truth is that he actually had 2 Goodyear tires on there that were in, you know, pretty good condition. The BF Goodrich tires actually, one of them had to be replaced. I mean, as soon as I got there, it had 2 plugs in it and a nail in it. And as soon as I left his facility, I had to take it to the tire store, and they said they couldn't even repair it. The other tire was in fair condition at best, but again, I was told that I needed 2 tires as soon as I picked the vehicle up. And again, not as advertised, you know, the way you make it sound. You know, it's got a set of, you know, $1,000 tires on there that's in good condition. So anyway. And he just again reiterates just how great of opportunity this is for us to own, and then it's hard to find one that's pre-owned that's been this well maintained. So again, you get the perception that this vehicle is in good condition because of how well it was maintained. In no way, shape, or form until later did I learn that it's in the condition it is, because he's a professional at patching them up, and actually, he, you know, as we'll talk about later on, he repainted the seats. He literally painted the black on there. It had a busted bumper on there. I mean, this vehicle was literally cleaned up and painted up for the photo op, but when you actually go to pick it up, it was not as described. So you go on and learn more about, you know, eBay has a nice thing here concerning the history report. We go into the history report. You see the summary, and it even gives you what's called an auto check a score, and this one had an auto check score of 88, which was considered really above average. So I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know, no accidents, no title problems, no odometer issues. Gives me a little warning saying that this thing was a fleet or maintenance vehicle at one time. I'm not for sure what that means, especially on a Hummer. But all in all, everything had everything checked out. You get a long listing of no issues. Every time that VIN code was ever recorded, it's placed here, and so you get an idea that all in all, I'm getting a well-maintained, clean vehicle. So anyway, this is what I purchased, and this is what I had actually flown down to Houston to go buy. I was planning on picking up hopefully a good vehicle. Later on we'll do a little walk around on the vehicle and kind of compare what really is in comparison to what was advertised. So anyway, so that's the vehicle description. Anyway, I purchased the vehicle under those pretenses of just you know, a good score. You know, the auto check came out great. 100% feedback seller. You know, 100%. Everything appeared great. You know, so I went ahead and I made the purchase. Paid the $500 PayPal deposit that was required. Got a phone call from this gentleman named Chris from Alta Motor Cars right off the bat, and you know, just seemed like a nice guy. Would keep calling me friend. You know, it's a great deal, friend. You know, you're buying it at a wholesale price. Everything's great. You're gonna love this car. So anyway, you know, he walked me through the process. This was all new to me, so you know, I was always kind of timid to buy a vehicle online, but he seemed eager to kind of walk me through it. Told me how I need to pay the $500 PayPal deposit. I did that, and I made arrangements to fly down to Houston out of Nashville. Fly down to Houston, pick the vehicle up, and was going to drive it back. And so anyway, and that's what I did. So on August 3rd, I had flown down there. Flew in, got there at the what I thought was going to be a dealership. Actually, wasn't a dealership at all. I had a friend actually take me by there that I had known in Houston, and it was actually off the beaten path, like I previously said. It was more of a, you know, it was in a fenced-in area. Really wasn't a dealership at all. You know, like I had thought it was going to be. It was he's a wholesaler. He has really what looks more like a cleanup shop. You know, I saw the Hummer from a distance, did a little walk around, and it looked okay. I mean, but right off the bat, I could tell it wasn't as described. If you know, saw in the sheet that it was like new, everything's great, no nicks, no dings, no scratches, everything's like new, and it obviously had lots of nicks and dings and scratches that I'll describe later in a video. I'll do a little walk around. The bumper had, you know, it wasn't falling off, but it was obviously had been in a wreck and needed to be replaced. You know, the tires on it were not the good condition BF Goodrich that were advertised. They were actually 2 Goodyears, and one BF Goodrich that was in maybe fair shape at best. The other one was completely bald with 2 plugs in it, and you know, actually shortly after I left the dealership, the tire store said I had to replace them. So, you know, so the outside was not as described, but it was acceptable. Okay, it wasn't terrible. It was still, you know, a pretty clean vehicle for, you know, being a vehicle of its age, which was a 2004. So anyway, as I got into the vehicle to look at it, you know, it looked good at first glance, but as I examined it further, you know, I realized that the whole thing looked like it had just been painted on the inside, and literally that's what happened. Someone had painted the seat. So when you read the advertisement where it says looks like new, you're thinking, wow, this thing's been taken care of. It's in good shape because of the previous owners took care of it. Come to find out, what really happened is it looks like new in the pictures because they recently used some sort of leather paint, and they painted the entire leather and every other piece of plastic that was in there. And you know, the war spots in the leather, they use some sort of vinyl leather repair. It almost looks like bubble gum, and to literally block off large sections of it, and then they paint over that. So what you see in the pictures isn't really what was. And so needless to say, I was just a little, you know, saddened by the overall condition of it. But I was still getting it, as you saw, at $16,200, which was a fair price. And here I am stuck in Houston, so what am I going to do? Tell them no and say no? I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting a good enough deal on it. Maybe it'll, you know, maybe I can spend a little bit of money and fix it up and it'll be okay. As long as it runs good and drives good. So, and I did. I drove it around the block. I drove it for about 5 minutes, and it seemed to drive okay. I didn't get it up on the highway, but it did seem to ride and